everyone and welcome to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Hi, I'm Mand. I feel like it's been a little while since I've actually sat down and did like just a chit chat, favorites, what I've been into, all that kind of fun stuff. I'm not the best at introductions, I've noticed. So if you don't know, hi, I'm Mand. I am the creator of this channel. I am from Ireland, if you haven't guessed. I don't think I have a thick Irish accent, but I might to you guys, I don't know. So if you like all things spiritual, tarot, oracle related, or books, please hit the subscribe button. We'd love to have you here. Do hit the bell so you'll be notified when I upload. It's normally twice a week now, so that's great. It was kind of once a week, but now we've gone to twice a week, which is super exciting. Sorry, I feel like I'm kind of out of frame here. I'm still kind of trying to get used to looking at the camera and not too much myself, if that makes sense. So I have a few bits that I actually want to talk about. This is kind of just a chit chat. It is a favorite, but it's not. It's really kind of what I was working with in January. We are actually currently the 30th of January. I have to look at my calendar here. So I wanted to actually talk about some things that I have been into this month, what I've been reading, decks I've been working with, and also I wanted to incorporate crystals because I love crystals. I love talking about crystals. I love buying crystals. Yeah, so if you want to, follow me on Instagram. I'm quite active over there, so if you want to have a chat and stuff, do follow me. It'll be in the description, or I'll try and remember to put it somewhere here. So we will start with decks because I know a lot of people like to see decks. I don't want to bore you guys, but I'll try and put timestamps of everything. So like decks, books, and then crystals. We might do it that way. Again, I'm still trying to figure out layout of videos and things like that. You know, some people have far more experience than I do. So the start of this year, I actually, of course, everybody knows this is like my favorite deck. I worked with the Greenwich Tarot. I'm assuming you probably already guessed that. You already know. And if you're new here, it's my favorite. It's one of my favorite tarot decks to work with. It is so earthy, it's so motherly and nurturing, and I just love it, right? Look, we all know what it looks like. I know it's glossy, it's a Llewellyn deck. I love the size of their decks. I like the cardstock. Actually, it's a bit thin, but it's very easy for me to shuffle. And the other side of it, it's mass market. I worked with this for the first 2 weeks in January, and I love it. I absolutely love this deck. Like, how can you not? Okay, I get it, like maybe this isn't some people's style, aesthetic. It's mine, but I love it. You know, I definitely would live in this deck. And the oracle deck, that I paired it with was the Herbal Astrology Oracle by Adriana Ellis. It's a Hay House production. I've done a walkthrough on it, I think. I'll try and remember to tag or link my video. Oh my gosh, why is this so difficult to get open? Okay. I love. They're really upping their game with oracles and tarot. Is anybody else feeling kind of overwhelmed by the amount of decks that are coming out recently? Or is it just me? But anyway, I paired it with this. When I say this deck is brilliant, it's brilliant. The Greenwich Tarot is brilliant to pair with lots of different oracles. It's so versatile in that sense. Is that the word I'm looking for? But this deck, oh my gosh. You can read this completely intuitive, to be honest. Now, I like reading the guidebook with this one because I'll show you this way. Why do I always do this to myself? I like to know about the herbs and kind of get a deeper understanding of the cards. But these two paired together, oh my gosh. Like, oh, I love this card. Look at this, mugwort, psychic, healing. Like, oh. There's just so much detail. I love this one as well. I'm obsessed with like little mushrooms at the moment. I don't know why. But yeah, these two pair together. Here, I'll just pair some of the cards together so you guys can see. Oh my gosh. I should take a picture of like what my desk looks like. That is gorgeous. I love it. I love the two paired together. They are stunning. If you have this pairing, let me know. Do you work with these as they are, or you know, what do you pair your Greenwich with? Next pairing that I worked with, so this was like the 3rd week of January, was The Witch's Wisdom by Phyllis Curott, and the artwork is by Danielle Barlow. I believe this is actually coming in a tuck box. I don't know if you can still get this one. I got mine last year before, or something like that. This deck has kind of in one way its own system. I like Phyllis Currat's writing. I was listening to a podcast of her on Emma Mumford. It is so super interesting, and she is so intelligent, and she has like a wealth of knowledge. It's unbelievable that I'm like, wow. And I believe she was also on oh gosh, what's his name? Anthony Padilla, isn't that it? Isn't that his name? He's with Mikey, who does she does makeup and stuff like that. Well, no, more like special effects. But yeah, he does like videos, and didn't he have like real witches on or something like that? I don't know. I just love this deck. It's so earthy. And yeah, I have to use the guidebook, but I don't mind because the information that she has in this really opens up. It's like the cards unfold in front of you and you can really see. So I think it's a beautiful combination of Phyllis Currat's knowledge and Danielle Barlow's artistic abilities, and how the two of them just worked absolutely fantastic together. Honestly, you can read, like, you know, looking at them, you could really read this intuitively, but I do think you'd be missing out on fabulous knowledge. I always find this one an interesting card. It doesn't come up for me often, if ever, actually, now that I'm looking at it. But I was watching Lisa Pepez's video, her deep dive. I love her deep dive. And she really goes through all the cards and the meanings and all that. But yes, so this isn't me doing a walkthrough of this deck. And that's the Witch's Wisdom Tarot. Oh my goodness me, man, slow down. And I actually paired it with, believe it or not, a compendium of witches. Now, I wasn't too sure. And this is by Natasha. I'm not going to guarantee your name because it looks beautiful and I'm not. This is the mass market one. I know there's an indie one, and oh, it's a Lo Scarabeo. There is an indie version of this deck. I think the book with that one is probably better than this one. Now, you look at it and you go, oh my goodness, I've definitely done a walkthrough. I think I'm going to have to cut my finger. I'm sorry, that's what I'm actually looking at. I think, wow, that is a whole load of information. And it is. But it's in different languages, which is amazing. I think that's great to have different languages incorporated into, guidebooks. But the problem I have with it is, because I only speak English and understand a little bit of Dutch, but the rest I wouldn't know Italian, French, and Spanish, I believe, is in it, isn't it? Am I making that up? No. There's no French, sorry. Is it Portuguese? I believe that's, yes. Yeah, Portuguese. Sorry. Oh my god, why did I think French? I have no idea. Apologies on that one. I don't know if there's another one that has a bigger guidebook. Why do I feel like there is? I'm probably making that up though. The explanation is quite short, and sometimes, I don't know, it confuses me a little. So I kind of, I go very intuitive with this. To an extent. I love the backs. I love the backs. I love this deck. And it paired really, really nicely. So there's like two parts. I've done a walkthrough on it. I'll try and remember to tag. There's two parts to this deck. But it pairs lovely with the Witch's Wisdom Oracle. I do think this would pair lovely as well. You know I'm going to say it with the Green Witch. I'm sure I probably have paired it. I just didn't write it down. I'm trying to get into the habit of writing down what decks I'm using so I can remember. Because sometimes I'm going off by memory. And that's not a great way. Especially when I want to do these chit-chats and favorites and things like that. I have to kind of, in one sense, keep a log of what I've either got or what I've worked with, you know, so that at least I know what I want to talk about. Otherwise, I take off on tangents. So that is a compendium of witches. I really like it. It's sometimes just that sharpshooter. It just kind of gets to the point. There is no messing with this deck whatsoever. So if you like that, but I feel like the Witch's Wisdom kind of balances it out, you know. So this one kind of pokes you, but the other one kind of goes, it's okay though. It'll be all right. The last one I want to talk about is the one I'm actually currently working with this week, and I actually worked with this oracle last week as well, is the Sacred Rebels by Alana Fairchild. I love this deck. Oh my gosh, when I say like the feels okay, you can see my phone. I'm going to try and do it this way so there's not too much. These are very glossy. They're Blue Angel publication, but when I first got it, I was like, this isn't a deck that I normally go for. I'm like, it's not really my style, my aesthetic. It's kind of, how do I even say it? Because it's like a combination of old and new. Does that make sense? But when I say this is so accurate for me, like the messages that it gives me, it makes me emotional. I'm actually even like, sorry, I get attached to my oracles. My oracles and my tarot, my decks, they're just, they all have specific places within my life and my collection and how I use them. And this has become a very dear friend. This is up there with the Green Witch Tarot. I love this card. So that is actually the back as well. Isn't that just beautiful? I love it. And the guidebook. Now, normally with oracle decks, you know, I 9 times out of 10, to be honest, read them very intuitively. It's not that I'm dismissing what the creator has to say. Sorry if, you know, you're not into nudity with your cards. There's some. Doesn't bother me, might bother some others, but just to let you know. The information that Alana puts into these cards, or into the cards, the meaning of the cards, but also to this guidebook. Like Blue Angel has some of the best decks. I don't know why I don't have more, honestly. You can see like this guidebook is kind of loved at this stage, and I really don't like when my books get all kind of battered. But she just has like information after information. There is no cutting corners here. Do you see what I mean? And she has like a healing process. I don't know, is it for every one of them? Yeah, so every one of them has like a healing process, something that you can do. Like, it's just, and like you have the picture of the card and chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. So what I actually paired it with, which is a very unlikely combination, and one that you're like, I don't know, I don't think this will work. I'm keeping it in this bag. I tend to rotate my decks because I don't have enough tarot bags and stuff, and I have not learned to make my own. I have just about enough patience to be journaling and all that stuff lately. I really want to get more into that, but that's a topic for another day. It's actually the Muses Tarot by Chris Ann. Chris Ann does some amazing decks. I adore her Light Series Tarot. I think everybody knows that. I think a lot of people like her Light Series, but it's not the Light Series, it's the Muse Tarot. And these are two unlikely decks that you'd put together, but Chris Ann's little, don't let this guidebook fool you. It is small, but very mighty. Very mighty. I love the backs on these. I think they're definitely one of my favorite backs. I've seen some people, because I think the indie version was like edged in pink, and I'm like, I want to do that, but I don't know what markers to use, and I don't think I'm brave enough to do that. So I only started using it today. Well, no, I've had the deck for a while, but this pairing, wow. I don't want to give too much because I haven't worked with it enough to kind of have too much of an opinion on it. But this deck I know isn't for everyone. It's very collage art style, which I like. As y'all know, I have the Starman Tarot, and I really love that deck, and I don't see many people talking about it. But I think some people have a problem because these are landscape. So just so you know, they're the court cards, because they've changed. She's changed the names in it, which, you know, doesn't bother me. But I love this deck, and I was kind of neglecting it, to be honest. It's been in my collection for a while. You know, I was like everybody else during the pandemic and stuff, just buying decks for days. Like, honestly, there was no need. There was no need to buy as many that I did, to be honest. But yes. Now, I do feel in one way that this priestess is a little mix match from the rest. But now that I'm looking, maybe not. But it just seems very different. But yes, it's very eclectic. It's very strange. I love it. I'm actually wondering about getting her Curious Creatures Tarot. I was on the fence about that, and now I've seen a lot of people post about it, and I kind of want it in my collection now. So will you let me know in the comments if you have it? What do you think? Should I just bite the bullet and get it? I mean, it is my birthday in February, so, and it's kind of a big birthday, to be honest. It is. I will talk more about that in another video, but yes. Let me know. Do you have Tarot of Curious Creatures? Is that what it's called? The next series that I'm going to talk, so the next thing I'm going to talk about is books. So I have 1 fiction, 3 spiritual books. And I'm going to try not to yap too long because I do love books, right? I love getting lost in the world of books. I love fiction. I've really gotten into fantasy. I didn't think I was that kind of person. I'm definitely not sci-fi. Just can't do it. So I'm a bit late to the game. I'm going to talk about the fiction one first, and then we'll talk about the spiritual book. Excuse me. Sarah J. Maas. Don't think she needs much of an introduction. I just finished this. I started the series last year, okay? I'm a bit late to the game. I've had this series with over 2 years. I only got this last year because I got so into, I had the first 3. I get so sucked into them that I had to get the other 2. Just this whole series, okay? Oh my gosh. Is it a bit spicy? Yes. Does it bother me? No, not really. Because the writing is so well done. The world building, the characters, I'm just going to stop because I want to be there. I want to be there. I want to be living in Valaris. I want to be part of their whole family. Okay, there's like, seriously, just please. Like, can you bring out another book? I need to know more. Now, I haven't read a Throne of Glass. Why can't I say that? I feel like sometimes that's a tongue twister. I want to, but I'm also scared because I'm just going to get sucked up into that world. And I'm like, I don't know, because I know that series is finished, and I don't know if I'm ready for that kind of, at least I know with the Crescent City, there's another book to come. So I've the first 2. I need to read them yet, but I'm taking a break. I'm reading a standalone just to give me a break from having to learn a new world, new characters, and all that stuff. But I've heard mixed reviews on Crescent City, but I don't know, is it because we're all still hung up? Yes, I'm late to the party, but people are still talking about it. I love that. Are we still all caught up in this world that we're kind of comparing it? Although, I heard a theory, but look, let me know, have you read A Court of Thorns and Roses? I feel like I always mess that one up. So the first spiritual book, I've mentioned them here. Excuse me. See, this is me getting very, very excited. Let me just take a sip of water. I sometimes feel like I should start a book channel just so I can talk about books. Anyway, Herbal Magic. I showed this book already. Once, twice. Love it. It is a great introduction to herbs, and I'm just going to show you some pages. This is fantastic. It has just the right amount of information, excuse me, that you need. I read this kind of over Christmas. I love the pictures, and then it has like candle magic, and then obviously like using colors, but then it has all the information on herbs, plants and flowers, and then it has like a picture, and I've talked about this before, but in case you missed it, it has like the planetary companion, zodiac signs, energy, daily correspondence and element, and then she has like magical properties, suggested use, and then like a little blurb here at the end. I love it. It makes me want to dive further into green witchery, which is not something that I ever thought I would be. Now all of a sudden I want a whole apothecary. So I knew spells and rituals and recipes and stuff like that. So this whole series is absolutely fabulous. There's more books in this. I've showed them. I want to get more. There's a goddess one I've been eyeing, so I think I'm gonna get that. And then of course there's the fairy magic, which I finished. This alone is just stunning. Okay, so if you want, again, I feel like these are great if you're just a beginner and you want an introduction. I have not obviously worked with herbs, so I feel like this is a great kind of starting point before you begin to, because I feel like some books can be too informative. Does that make sense? There's just too much information to digest, and what happens then, I feel for myself, I do not finish that book. I will not finish that book because there's just too much for me to digest. I need things in like little snippets. It's the best way for me to kind of learn and absorb. Fairy magic is pretty much the same. It's a great introduction to fairies, elementals, and just working with them. Respect the different kind of fairies you have, because you see there's a list here, and whether they're kind of benevolent or malevolent, just there's a lot of respect around it. I have to say, there's like, see, beware of malevolent. Sometimes saying those words is just impossible, but she just has so much information that's just the right amount. Does that make sense? So then it's not information overload. Plus this book is just so stunning, and then she has the different ones, like, and crystals you can work with them, herbs, there's recipes, planting a fairy garden, all that good stuff. I love it. If anything, it just looks really, really pretty as well on top of your bookcase. So the last book that I'm going to talk about now, I only finished it this year. I did start it last year. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it here on my channel. I can't remember. But this is The Goddess Wisdom Made Easy by Tanishka. It's a Hay House production, and it is the Made Easy series. I like this book. I do. Yeah, I know it looked a bit confusing for a minute, didn't it? I really do. If you are wanting to get more into that divine feminine side of you, that more intuitive, tuning into your cycles. See, it's learn about long lost ancient goddess traditions and reconnect with your feminine power, natural cycles and intuition. And don't let the size of this book, it's what, 100? No, 200 even, cheapers. 214 pages of information, and then you have the references and things like that. I really, really like it because she gives plenty of information. Again, that's digestible, but don't let them made easy make you believe that it's very easy, because it's not. There's still quite a lot of information. I even highlighted. Now, I don't write in my books. I don't like to write in my books. I hate when the spine cracks, but the spine has to some extent. Look, I have this book a long time, but I have highlighted up to a certain point, and then I stopped because I got really, really engrossed. But it took me a while because this book is so juicy, if that makes sense. It is so packed full of information. It goes through that whole maiden, mother, crone, the triple goddess, different beliefs. It goes into about the red tent and things like that. So it talks about menstruating and just how women had a status many, many, many moons ago within society, how priestess and witches were really honored until kind of the whole Christianity and things like that, and how it was more than condemned. So yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot of digesting of it. You definitely won't read this all the way through. I definitely didn't. I picked it up, I read a bit, put it down, forgot about it, came back to it, and then devoured it. So if you're like me and that happens, don't feel bad. It's okay. That's why I sometimes highlight, so at least I know the important bits that I want to remember. And last, but certainly not least, that I want to talk about is 3 crystals. So I promise you won't be kept here all day. So I actually bought these the start of this year. I haven't worked with them a whole pile. Apologies, I had to actually leave her in, otherwise she would continue whinging and whining outside the door. So 3 crystals, that's what I was on about. So the first one, and I do have the information written down here in front of me, because guaranteed I will forget, because these are new to my collection. To an extent, I think I have tumbled stones of 2 of them. So the first one I want to talk about, oh my god, I love crystals, is fire quartz. Like, hold on, this way. Oh my gosh, where was I pointing at? 1 second, can I see? If I block, no, not. Here, now. Like, how stunning is that? And it's not really showing up on camera, but, oh, there we go. What is wrong with you? I'm so sorry. But it's kind of this pinky hued color. So this is called fire quartz, and it is a mixture. Oh my goodness. It's a mixture of clear quartz and hematite or hematoid, from what I remember reading up on it. It has lots of rainbows in it. I am obsessed. It's so pretty, but it brings a sense of balance to mind, body and spirit, and it also clarifies a unique understanding of the emotions. So I found that very, very interesting. I have meditated with this a few times and it is gorgeous. So if you are a crystal lover like myself, you will want all of them. So when I seen my dear friend Vicky, actually, she sells crystals, I had to pick this up. And I also got a piece of mookaite from her. Now, mookaite is a very grounding crystal, I know that. Normally it's kind of like red and yellow, but this is, like she says, it's like a little latte. And I love coffee, so I had to pick up, here's me trying to justify why I had to get a crystal. I had to get this. I was like, now, there you go. Like, how stunning is that? And this is a lovely little tower. So mookaite is grounding, is what I said, but it is great to deepen your connection to Mother Earth, right? And your natural surroundings. So it is a very grounding, earthy crystal. And I thought, you know, obviously I love the Green Witch Tarot. Wouldn't this be a lovely one to incorporate with your work? So that's Mookaite. I will put the spellings up on the screen. Remember that when I'm editing, please. And the last one, which I find, hello, how are you? She's down under my desk. So I better hurry up and finish, otherwise she's going to get really restless, is Realgar, right? And I've never heard of this. I've never seen it. This is, oh, hi. Hello. This is, do they call it ruby sulfate or something like that? It literally looks like electricity or lightning caught. You can see there's a slight bit of red there. Again, I am the worst at showing these, but Realgar is deeply cleansing and it helps with your subconscious mind and illuminating hidden thoughts as well. And you can use it for past life work, which I thought was super, super interesting. And also I have healing written down here as well. So it is quite healing. So I haven't worked with this yet. I need to, but it is absolutely stunning. It's something totally different to what I normally kind of pick up. I normally get my usual amethyst and black obsidian and strawberry quartz, and I'm trying to veer from that because I have, like, here's just an honorable mention, many pieces of amethyst. I have some really gorgeous pieces here. Okay, stop focusing in on me and focus on this. Like, and that isn't, this is gorgeous, but it's not one of my most, oh my god, I have a stunning piece as well, but she's very heavy to lift. Anyway, guys, that's it. My cat is going to create havoc if I don't get off and pay attention to her. So thank you so much if you've watched this the whole way through. I do appreciate you spending time with me. I hope you have a fabulous day wherever you are in the world, and I will chat to you all real soon. Bye guys.